for today with some money.
Is all debt bad? I definitely used to think it was. But after buying a house, multiple rental properties, and taking on a HELOAN, I've learned that there's a huge difference between debt that can help you build wealth and debt that can hold you back. One smart money move for this video is that don't ask yourself how much is the payment, ask yourself what is this debt actually doing for me? A low monthly payment doesn't necessarily make something a good financial decision. You want to understand the interest rate, the total cost over time, and whether the debt is helping you fund something productive or simply funding spending. For me, one of the clearest examples of good debt was my mortgage. When I bought my first house at 22, I obviously didn't have enough cash to actually buy the house in full. So I borrowed money to buy an asset that I would eventually own outright. And over time, I was building equity as I paid down the mortgage. My rental properties are another example. I used mortgages to control real estate that I otherwise would not have been able to afford in full. The goal is that the property generates income, builds equity over time, and potentially appreciates. But I've also had debt that I wouldn't consider productive. Earlier in my journey, I wasn't as financially disciplined. I had debt that wasn't helping me acquire assets or generate income. It was simply money that I had already spent. And that's the kind of debt that can become an actual problem. You're essentially borrowing from your future income for your past decisions. Then you have things like my HELOAN, which is a little more complicated. I borrowed against the equity in my primary home, and I used about $60,000 to eliminate debt. And again, the remaining roughly $55,000 was used for my second rental property. The HELOAN itself created another monthly obligation, so I wouldn't automatically call it a good financial decision. What made it make sense for me is what I actually did with the money. I was trying to eliminate expensive debt and also put money down towards another income producing asset. But here's something really important. Even good debt can become bad debt if you take on too much of it. A rental property can have a mortgage and you can still lose money, and a house can appreciate in value while still creating financial stress for you, especially if the payment is too much for your budget. So I don't think the question is necessarily, is this good debt or bad debt? I think the better question is, does this debt make sense for my overall financial situation? Another smart money move for this video is focus on the outcome of the debt, not just the label. Before taking on any new major debt, look at what you're getting in return and whether you can comfortably handle the payment if things were to not go in your favor. The goal isn't to avoid debt completely, it's to use it intentionally. I've used debt to buy my first house, build my rental portfolio, and eventually leverage the equity that I had built. But I've also made financial mistakes with debt. And honestly, learning the difference between the two has been a huge part of my wealth building journey. In the next video, as I mentioned before, I'm going to break down preparing a house for sale. Please always remember that building wealth isn't always just about one perfect decision. It's about good decisions made consistently over time. I'll see you guys in the next video.